stream today. Woo! So let me do all the social stuff around that real quick. All right, tweet has been sent. Let me go take a look at chat. Let me see. Let me pull up. Sorry, I'm like an old man here trying to figure out my stuff. Look at my dashboard, because that's what broadcasters use, right? Is a Twitch dashboard. Cool. So it looks like there might be a few folks in chat. Maybe, maybe not. Oh well. Let me pull up my cheat sheet real quick to do my little spiel. All right. Sorry, this kind of came up last minute, but I am excited at the opportunity to work and talk about Delver. So whenever I get that, I take advantage of it. So today, yeah. So hi, I'm Joshua. For those of you who don't know, today is December 26th, 2016, and today I am working on my video game Delver. Delver is an independent first-person fantasy roguelike dungeon crawler thing. When I say independent, I mean it's made by two people with no budget in their free time. So that's my definition of independent. And roguelike, to define that more clearly, because some folks tend to be picky about that term also, is it has permadeath, procedural generation, it has RPG elements. We even have the old trope where you have to go down a few levels, grab a MacGuffin, and get back out, for better or for worse. Yeah. So Axical says, look at this stream. Hopefully the quality's okay. Things on my end look all right. Just double check. Cool. Yeah, so doing a stream today. Since I did one yesterday, I don't think there's really been a lot of changes to the source code since yesterday. I think I kind of took yesterday kind of as a break since it was Christmas and all. I think the only real change I did is looking into the arrow bugs a little bit. That you see right here, I changed the term arrow to arrow. That shouldn't matter. For stacking purposes, we check the types of things and not the names of things, so that really shouldn't impact that. The folks are still reporting an issue, so I may look into that a little bit. But why did I close that? What I'm excited today is I want to kind of take a look more at the durability system. It's been a controversial change. I think it's a good change. But I think right now, maybe in its present incarnation, it needs a lot of work. So the thinking behind the durability system is not to ruin your game and take away your fun, but it's if you find a really amazing item that you can't rely on it exclusively for the rest of the game. That we want you to kind of be more strategic and tactical about how you use things. I read it. There's a good post on the Steam forums by Chris, who goes by Chezzy, on there, and he was very articulate and made some good points. And I think some of the things we're still suffering from are these is a lack of communicating systems and what's happening. So I'm going to try to do some work today to help communicate what the durability system is doing. So let's just get going on that. Cool. So Captain Raven says, hey, I love Delver. Hey, Captain Raven, thank you for joining me on my stream. And Axical says, everything's good. I suspect you not remember me. Have we met before? Like, I met a few people at some shows. Your name seems familiar. You might be an old one of the original Delver fans. I can't remember. Please remind me. Let's fire up our IDE. And so, okay, so here's what we're going to do. What I'm going to do is instead of working out of the main development branch, um, as you can see right here, this is our development branch. Gotcha. Cool. Thank you, Exical. No, we appreciate it. Like any coverage we get is so welcome and appreciated. Um, it's because of the folks like you and the community's love for us that we've been as successful as we have been, and I'm very grateful for that. Thank you. Um, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a branch to work out of because I don't want the changes because they may or may not land, and I'd rather kind of keep them isolated in case that they don't land. So let's just go ahead. Let's create a branch. Let's call this uh, feature. I think this is the durability tweaks because I'm not really. So let me see durability tweaks. So we're creating a new branch that I'll be working out of, and yeah, let's create a branch. Cool. So now here it says feature durability tweaks, and if I were to go to my repository in the command line, do a git status, it should say that I am on branch feature durability tweaks, nothing to commit, working tree clean. Cool. So cool. No, I'm glad. Axical said it's been quite a change from the early days, and it's been a blast covering the changes. So yeah, thank you. Thank you for covering it, and we're glad that you can see the changes and the differences we're striving to make. So one change I want to make is, well, actually, I'm not super familiar with the code and how the durability system was implemented. That was kind of on Chad. Um, so I might look at the code a little bit to try to figure out. Um, actually, I might just look at the source too and see how things are implemented. Uh, oh, what happened? History. What I do? Develop, view branch. History. Okay, so it looks like they have a property called durability and current durability. Um, and it looks like whenever there's a method that um, okay, so durability is a public property that I can look at to do some rationalization about the state of a thing. So weapon has it, sword has it. So it looks like weapon is the base class for sword, and armor has it. Um, right now, I think I'm more worried about communicating the status of a player's weapon than their armor, because I think that might be a little bit more important. And because you see it, we have a better opportunity to visually communicate things there. Cool. It looks like the chat is talking about old Delver days, which is really fun. Yeah, I appreciate that too because I've been so like I've been so close to this project now for 3 years. Like I really, it's hard to have perspective, you know, when I've been in it for so long. Okay, so um, so basically, I think a change I want to make is for example, we have items um, like we now have enchantments that do crazy stuff like poison swords and paralyzed swords, and I think those are pretty overpowered right now. And I think if a weapon is broken, it should no longer apply its damage type maybe. Let me kind of prototype that and feel and see how that feels. Or maybe when a weapon breaks, it loses all of its enchantments. I'm not quite sure. I'm just kind of playing around with what that might look like. So looks like it's the weapon class that I need to take a look at. So weapon.java. Then there's the durability property. I think, yeah, it's only really used here. Almost was used. Current durability plus plus. So it looks like conditions index of item condition true. Item condition, so that's broken, worn, normal, fine, excellent, which is an enum, which can be useful because now we can rationalize about if it's broken or not. Hey Tyreek, thanks for stopping by, man. It looks like recently you also pushed out a big update to Catacomb Kids because we just pushed out a big update to Delver. So I guess 'tis the season to update roguelikes. Um, cool. So here, a couple of things. So if current item condition equals condition at index, cool. Yep, Axical. The arrow collisions have been shored up immensely, and archery now should be a way more useful um, uh, way to play. Yeah, because previously they would bounce off walls and hit you and do all sorts of unpredictable things, and now they are way more predictable. So it looks like current durability is incremented. So current durability looks like it goes from 0 up to durability, and then we index into this item condition based upon that. Let me just put a breakpoint here and kind of see what's going on. And sorry, I accidentally used the Mac key to launch the debugger, which is not the same in Windows on IntelliJ. Yeah, no, the arrows have been overhauled, so they won't like they're way more predictable. They stick into walls. Let's undo that breakpoint. You can recover them from enemy corpses, which is handy. Yeah, they're just generally more useful. Rion PG says, "Hey, oh, hey, Rion PG, thank you for stopping by my little stream here. Trying to get some work done on Delver. Trying to make the durability system a little less mystery meat. So if I attack the wall, it should, yeah. So it's going to change the durability of our item. So current durability is 0, and durability is 15. So 1 is not greater than 15. So I'm kind of curious what happens when we hit this condition. Continue. So I think I have to smack it 15 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There we go. So I've used the item 15 times, and it looks like, so yeah, so current durability is greater than durability, 16 is greater than 15. So we reset it, and so current condition index equals condition index of, so current condition index is in fact equal to 2. Because if you look at these indices, you have broken, worn, normal. Normal is usually the default quality, and so therefore it's 0, 1, 2 in this this enum. So if that's greater than 0, so basically, so for durability, if you hit something 16 times, it will lower the condition. So it goes from normal to worn, and then you should hit it 15 more times, and then it will go from worn to broken. If my rationalization of this is correct. So now the item condition is worn. So you can, so that seems all right. Oh, cool. Rion PG. So yeah, Rion PG is the one who suggested I put a little bit of gravity on the fire wand, which I thought was really cool. Yeah, so the prefix actually, like, not only does it affect the item quality, but now it can degrade over time, which has been a controversial change. And I think it's a good change, but I'm trying to make it less mysterious and kind of more upfront. Um, so so what I'm going to do, because here we know the current condition. The current condition was um, so the current condition was normal, and it got changed to worn. So what I can do is now I can check. Now I know the conditions when it goes from worn to broken, and then on broken I can do some stuff. So I want to create a little hook, like an on break method basically. Correct. Axial, that's correct. So if you have a normal dagger, as soon as you hit something 16 times, it will, or if you have a normal dagger, you hit something 16 times, it will become worn. You have a worn dagger, you hit something that 16 times, it becomes broken. And once it's broken, uh, it's, I guess, broken forever. What is the item condition? So item condition, I think, is also a property. It is a property on item. Okay, cool. But how is it used? I mean, weapons should have a specific way of using. Oh, it changes the damage modifier. Gotcha. Okay. Okay. Xcode says, will the damage value is lower per prefix tier? Yeah. So yeah. So the damage will lower if it's worn or broken, and it will be higher if it's fine or what's the other one? Excellent. But what I want to do is so here, and then if uh, this item condition equals item condition broken. Yeah, I think that's right. I think this is the correct way to compare it in enums. So if this dot on broken, that might not be a great thing, but let's just call this a this is a public void on broken. So what this will do is it will just handle some state change stuff when it becomes broken. And also I want to do, is there a type? Yeah, so I'm gonna have to do some plumbing of this too on the damage type too, because I don't think we should do I guess damage the special type of damage when it's broken. So Captain Raven, yeah, I was going to actually reply to your comment before then, before the stream actually, but I got sidetracked on basically just the housework. You know, it's the holidays, so trying to get some stuff done while my wife and I are at home together. But yeah, definitely it is an issue with the room builder. Sometimes the room builder creates bad rooms. Chad has spent some time shoring it up, but it looks like it's still not 100%. Yeah, because the easiest way to tell is our map system isn't super sophisticated. So if you, even for like secret doors and stuff, you can still see on the map where the connection is. So from the screenshots you posted, it just looks like the room builder failed to make a connected room, which I apologize for. Yeah, it's been it's created some bad stuff, and I mean it happens every so often. Like whenever I'm trying to reproduce it, I can't. But as soon as somebody else plays the game, it happens. Um, uh, bu- 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 yeah, Chad added some festive stuff in there. Okay, so what I want to do is so we have a prefix Chad. So I mean, what I can do just as a very quick thing is to this new method, I can where is oh, it's not part of item, it's part of weapon. So weapon on break, I can say this dot enchantment equals null. This dot prefix enchantment equals null. And that effectively should nullify, like when you break an enchanted weapon, its enchantment is gone. Yeah, no, I appreciate the kind words, Captain Raven. That's very nice. Yeah, I don't know about increasing durability. What I want to do is I want to actually take some time to actually play around with having the difference, like the iron versus steel versus golden weapons to also have different durability values between the items. I don't know about repairing stuff. Um, Again, I want to avoid grindy behavior, if that makes sense. Um, okay, so that looks cool. Let me just go, let me close others with this. Let me open up, just create a Let me just add a enchanted weapon to my debug menu. So data, items, down here. Not armor enchantments, I want weapon enchantments. Yeah, of the word. Yeah, the paralyzed one's pretty powerful. So that's one I want to test. Because this is pretty overpowered if you ever find a paralyzed weapon. Um, so I'm gonna go to melee and just make a sword. For those of you who watch the stream, I've done this before, so nothing new here. Just creating a temporary enchanted weapon. So let's just grab this. Let's paste it there. This is a debug short sword, and its enchantment is this. Okay. Take a look at my JSON, make sure I haven't forgotten the comma and broken the world. So this should be a debug short sword of paralyze. And also for testing purposes, I want to set the durability low, so maybe 2 should be sufficient. So durability 2. Let's test those changes. Pyro says, I thought the new weapons would cause me to be more powerful, therefore more likelihood of ascending again. I haven't been to the ruins since the weapons changed. Interesting, yeah. Again, it's a hard thing to balance out. Like since the weapons behave way differently, and potentially you can find way crazy powerful weapons. But I think the game still manages to be decently hard. Debug short sword of paralyze. There we go. So so 2 strikes should make this a worn debug short sword. 1, 2. Oh, 3. There we go. Now it's a worn debug short sword of paralyze. So if I were to, let me just spawn a bunch of these so I can kind of compare and contrast. So let's put this all in my inventory. It's not important right now. So there's my worn. There's the normal, melee, and another one of those. So this one I'm really gonna bang up. So 1, 2, 3, 5. One more. So now it's broken. So this is what I was hoping. So now what has happened is, so this one is 3 to 5. This one is 1 to 3 with 1 paralyzed still. This one is 1 to 3 and is no longer enchanted, which I think is fair. So I think this is cool. So let me go ahead and just commit this change to my prototypey branch. And I also want to change the weapons a bit so I can also swap out the texture when it breaks. So it's super apparent to the player what has happened. So let's just go to GitHub, go to changes. I don't want to compare, I just want to look at my, GitHub. So make sure I'm doing things right. Git status. Git status. So I have these 2 changes I want to commit, which is cool. So what I really want is just to keep this stuff here. This is a hook for broken weapons lose their enchantments, which I think is which should be cool. Okay, so commit that. Cool. I'm not sure why this is in a weird. Let me close and reopen this. Looks like Pyrarson says Reddit said engraved short sword of ice were the mathematically best weapons in the game. I'm not even sure if we have the engraved anymore. Let me look at engraved. Okay, yeah, they're an item type. Um, um, that might have been the case when it was written. I don't really follow the Reddit communities. Um, so the communities I do follow are the Steam forums. I do read you guys' posts. I apologize if I don't always follow up in a timely manner, but I do try to read all the feedback I can, and it's all up here like rattling around. And a lot of the changes I do make, um, even though they might not seem directly like to fix those, maybe it's to address the underlying concerns. So please comment, keep commenting there. I also created a Facebook page for Delver, just because like I think there are a lot of folks who could enjoy Delver, but necessarily aren't in the Steam ecosystem. So I created a Facebook page for Delver. If you're interested, I'll just um, paste it into chat. But it's Delver Game Official on Facebook because apparently Delver was taken and Delver Game was taken. Um, Apparently, right now the most popular Delver page on Facebook is actually not us, and I think it was linking to a website that was selling bootleg copies. So I'm just trying to take that kind of under my wing, yet another thing to look at. But yeah, if you're interested, Delver Game Official is the Facebook page. So if you want to post, fan art and stuff there, feel free to do it there also. Okay, so this change is in. Let's okay. Cool. So right now, I'm not worried about these items. This is just purely for testing. Uh, so I'll leave this kind of in my queued or pending changes. What I want to do is I'm going to break out. I've been meaning to do this for a while, actually. I want to break out the items into their own sprite sheets, if that makes sense. So I'm going to break out all the melee items into their own sprite sheet, and then I'm going to create a texture for the broken ones. So hopefully this makes sense. So let's go File, Import tiled images. This is Pixel Edit, which is an excellent pixel art tool. Um, I'm not really like I'm pretty agnostic. Use whatever tool works for you. They just have some nice convenient tools for working with stuff that is already like in a tiled sprite sheet. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is 8 across. So maybe let's make a new 8x8. An 8x8 sprite sheet, and I'll use that for the melee weapons, and I can make it larger if I need to. Yeah, so the skeleton king at the end, he does a lot of damage. He can one hit you if you're not careful, but he really doesn't have a lot of health. So depending upon how, so there's a little bit of RNG there and a little bit of strategy. But yeah, he's I don't know, like we don't I don't want to have like um, bullet spongy enemies in the game. I'd rather it be like more interesting decisions. So he may be something to tweak eventually, but right now, again, like we're trying to get all the systems into place, and then the closer we get to release, the more agonizing we'll spend over getting things balanced and tweaked. So new. Let's say this is 8x4 to start, and they are 32x32 tiles. Create. If there's a faster way to do this in Pixel Edit, folks, please let me know. Because what I want to do is something like grab this. Can I go over here? Mm, so let me see. They're close enough already. So let me do a marquee selection. Oh, it's magic wand here. I'll do a marquee selection. I think Pyrosin, yes, the hammers do the most knockback. Maces do a decent amount of knockback, but hammers have the highest. Go over here and paste. And then these should line up such that, yeah, like that. Then, let me see, let me copy this one over. I'm not sure where that will live, but let's just call it good right there. And I think that's all the melee stuff. I think those are all the melee weapons. There aren't any just hanging out down here, are there? No, there are the range stuff. That's it. Cool. So what I'm going to do is just grab this tool and just put these guys here. So I want to create broken variants to kind of cover just the entire class. It's going to be kind of rough, but yeah, let's just do it. So let's zoom in. It's just going to be really quick and dirty, but I'm going to see if I can get this whole system working. I'm just going to erase. Oh. So I think if you break your sword, it probably would most likely shear off. Let me look at pictures of broken swords. Right, that's a thing to do on the internet. Broken sword, real? Even still, I get a lot of Lord of the Rings stuff. Okay, well, it's gonna not be super realistic. Oh well. So let me just erase a chunk, because I'm gonna try to be, I guess, not cheap, but try to make this represent everything in this column right here. So yeah. And do some sellout. Actually, yeah, let me just make this bigger, work down here. Clean that up a touch. Okay. Good enough for me. Actually, I know some folks that really bother us, but if you want to, you can certainly make a mod for Delver to fix that. So I want to have something like this, and then maybe have this one actually. So come down over here, just a touch lower on this side. Okay, just clean that up a bit, make it look all right. Let me erase. Again, maybe I shouldn't scrutinize by having it too perfect, right? Because it's supposed to be broken. It's as long as it reads broken, I will be happy. Maybe I should even go a little bit further on this one. So Rion, it's a good suggestion, but it just represents a whole lot more work for me. Because then all of a sudden, instead of creating one additional texture for these three, I have to create three, um, which like becomes this whole multiplicative problem. So I'd rather just have a broken and a not broken version. It would be cool, but um, it's kind of expensive as far as like making it. So I'm trying to be as cheap as I can about the production of this because like we only have so much time to work on the project. And for some odd reason, there's a stray pixel here that is the wrong color, which nobody ever told me about. Ah. I'm not sure how much pixel edit costs. I think it might be donationware. And now why can't I? What happened? I did something. Oh, Joshua. Now I can't erase. Sometimes I get into weird modes in pixel edit and I don't realize I'm in. So what's this? What's going on? Help. Yeah, so Pyroarson. Yeah, no, again, reading the Steam forums, it looks like one person, they actually had a dedicated weapon that was just for hitting walls and floors. And then they had a weapon that was these for fighting. What is going on? I'm not sure why this is. Okay, weird. I'm not sure what was going on there, but restoring the swatches has fixed it. Whatever. So, okay. That's too perfect. And also my Wacom tablet. Like the tablet drivers died on my Wacom, so I had to reinstall them. So like a lot of the stuff I had, like the touch strip on the right, I had unbound because I keep touching it with the meat of my hand, and it keeps scrolling. But oh well, oh well, it's a future Joshua problem. Hopefully the stream isn't making you guys like sick because I'm just like doing crazy scrolling by stuff by accident. Okay. Okay, that's just not looking great. Let's hmm. Hmm. That's okay. It's just gonna have to communicate what's going on. So right, this one's gonna be the weird one because this is supposed to talk to all three of these, which I kind of got myself into a bit of a corner with because they're pretty different from each other. Yeah, there's Rion PG. There's only going to be a broken version and a not broken version, and the not broken version covers worn, normal, fine, and excellent conditions. Because otherwise, I would have to create um, six sprites per item, which is just a lot. And I don't know if it really adds a lot per se. I think the biggest thing we need to communicate is when it actually breaks. So maybe if I just make this look like a chunk of metal, and I'm not erasing, I'm drawing. That might be a cheap thing, Pyroarson, but I don't like. I like trying to keep my pixels. Uh, I try to keep them as pixel. Like I try to be something of a stickler for pixel art. Like again, there are places where we're not super um, faithful, but I try to be good when I can. So I mean, tinting sprites makes me cringe. Here, hold on, folks. Let me disable on my Wacom. I need to disable the right touch strip because it's killing me. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to try to make this just kind of an abstracty looking broken metal thing. Again, because this has to represent all three of these. So it has to represent the mace, the spike mace, and the hammer, which I've kind of got myself into like a not a great situation because they are very, very different from each other. They kind of make it kind of squarey looking. Just so you know, so it looks banged up and like not in a good shape. Not in a, it needs to look bad. Hmm. Hmm. I'm not sure if I like this interior crack though. I don't know. So people ask me all the time about the giant locked door, especially on the stream. And similarly for this one, man. So mostly this texture. Okay. Yep. Same. Same, same, same. Shouldn't stress too much about it. Just do it. Just get over it. This is again. This is prototypey stuff, anyways. If it ends up feeling good and Chad ends up liking it, and it's something we think we want to keep, then I can go back and really stress over the pixels. But right now, just get them done. just carve away trying to find a shape that that communicates that it's broken. And the secret weapon, we just chip that away. It was already kind of broken looking to begin, so maybe I need to. Oh well. Oh well. Let me just go ahead and save this out. File, export, export image, and let's make sure I get this in the right spot. So assets. And it's not items this time. It is going to be. Where's my items sheet? EI. Let's call this melee.ping. Save. Save. Cool. So now let's go back to source code and sprite sheets. And there's items, so we need to copy this. And this is going to be melee.ping, and the name is melee. And then for my melee weapons, I need to change their sprite sheet. So here, also I need to make sure that their indices are correct also. So let me close this. No. Close this. No. Let me re-import it so I can get melee open, and then have 0. So have this way I can hit tab and pixel edit will show me all the indexes for my items, which is handy now. Going back to the JSON data over here. So I need to make sure I'm correctly. So sprite atlas. Do weapons have a sprite atlas? Is that correct? So this sprite atlas, yes they do. So let's just go back to melee, and this is the iron dagger. It needs a sprite atlas property of melee. Let me just copy that because I'll be pasting it around quite a bit. And then its index is 8, which is still the same. Huh. That's interesting. Iron short sword, text 16, which I think is still the same. Wow, I must have lucked out. Wow, yeah, maybe I have lucked out, and I don't have to really update. So sword. So sword and short sword look like they use the same texture, which I think is correct. Maybe. Oh, that's right. That's my debug sword. Yeah. Iron sword. Yeah, that's number 24, which is correct. Just updating the atlas. Iron Mace texture 11. Yep. So it looks like by making the broken versions the first row, I'm lucking out, and that I don't have to mess around with too much with my reindexing um, my sprites, which is I would love to say I did that on purpose, but it's working out that way. So I'm just going through all my melee items, and wherever they reference a texture, I'm adding the sprite atlas after that. And we're slowly getting there. Okay, so that's all the melee items. So I've updated their atlases, which should be cool. And in fact, if I play now, we should see no change whatsoever, which is good, I guess. You know, that means I haven't broken anything. So erase, start a new game. That looks right. If I create just some random melee thing, that is that right? Import tiled images. Let me look at items. Import. Then tab. Yeah, it looks like, yep. So everything has retained the same index, so that's cool. So now what I want to do is I want to extend basically have a text and a broken text. Because if I look here, where's my on break? This dot text, and where is this defined? It is part of the entity. So basically, I think on and it's just an int, right? Public int. So let me just copy this, go to weapon, and up here on the weapons properties, I want a broken text. And what I want to do is maybe broken text. Let me just set it to 0, which should get a result even though if it's not super correct. So I want to say this dot text equals this dot broken text. I'm not sure if this will actually force the sprite to look different, but let's just test it out. So what the result of this should be is that whenever a weapon breaks, it should look like the broken dagger. And if that is correct, then that means my assumptions of the code are correct, and then I can go ahead and update all of the items to have their broken variants. So if I create our debug short sword of paralyze, and I can hit it 3 times against the wall, and that should make it a worn short sword of paralyze. And I hit it 3 more times, and now it's broken. So I also would like to have some sort of audio and particle cue to let you know that it's broken. Weird, that didn't actually redraw until I hit inventory. So that might be something to consider. Yeah, let me throw that down. Let me create a new one and just kind of watch what happens. Sure to paralyze. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's broken. And the looks like, yeah, the inventory doesn't update until I open it, so that's something to consider. And also might want to make the broken stuff look a little bit more dramatically broken. And also broken might, maybe I'll have that affect the range too, maybe have the range. Not sure. So let me go through real quick and just update all of these to have broken texts. So broken text. So for all the iron stuff, 0 is appropriate. So the iron dagger, iron short sword, debug short sword, iron sword. So for the iron mace, I think it needs to be index 3. So iron mace, iron sword. Make sure I didn't mess this up. Yeah, okay. Iron spiked mace. It also is broken text 3. That's correct, broken text. This is the steel dagger, so it should, steel stuff should have a broken text of 1. Steel short sword, so broken text of 1. This is the iron hammer, so I think 3 was for iron blunt weapons. Yeah. This is for the steel mace. So steel maces have, so it's number 4. Steel spike mace, broken text of 4. This is a steel sword, which should have a broken text of 1. Let me see. Steel hammer, that should have a broken text of 4. This is an engraved dagger, so it should have a broken text of 2. And this is an engraved short sword, broken text 2. Engraved sword, broken text 2. Gilded mace, which is 5. And this is a gilded spike mace, which is broken text 5. This is a jeweled dagger. Actually, let me make sure the engraved is correct. So engraved dagger is texture 9. Oh, so that needs to be texture 1 and not 2. So there we go. Engraved short sword needs to be texture 1. Engraved sword needs to be texture 1. There we go. The gilded mace is broken text 5, which is correct. Yeah. Gilded spike mace, broken text 5. Broken text of, I think 3, is that right? 2 for the jeweled stuff. Yeah, so right now there's no difference in visual between the steel and the engraved. So that might be something to improve eventually before release. I don't know. Oh, thanks Brion thanks Brion PG for stopping by. Let's see, this is a jeweled short sword, so texture 2. This is a Jeweled Swords of Broken Text 2. This is Gilded Hammer, so that should be 5. Yeah. Okay, so that should be all the broken textures. So let me real quick just here on broken, something like to do audio and particle cues for weapon break. So Pyro Arson says, hey, Delver's Ultimate Final Form, how many levels? I'm thinking about as many levels as there are right now, maybe 1 additional. But yeah, I don't know, like we're still trying to keep Delver a pretty small, focused game. I would rather add more diversity to a run than lengthening the run, if that makes sense. And hopefully folks can appreciate that. So let me see if this helps communicate what I'm trying to communicate. But also, cool, Fire Wand. Red Potion, Bat, let me just zap him. There we go. It's still an Iron Dagger. I mean, 15 hits is quite a few, but again, I want to play with the durability of different items as well. So what is this? So it's a slow potion. Pyrarson, what is the ouch in response to? 6? Restoration, okay, that fixed things. Whoa, something died. Let's do agility. Okay. Got some arrows and a wand. Now, it's a Worn Iron Dagger. Cool. Hey, Crazy Hippie. Thank you for stopping by. So the gentleman that just joined is a Twitch streamer that does the late night stuff, which is crazy, but he was also kind enough to hang out with me here recently at the Seattle G2 show that I showed Delver at, and he gave me lots of good feedback. And he also was great at demoing my game. Come on. Ah. So it looks like I died. Let me try playing again just to see if I can actually get a weapon to wear all the way down to broken. Let's do it. Ooh. Typically, the drop rate of crates is not very high. Okay. Again, I worry that, like, maybe, I don't know, like, some folks complain that they actually burn through an item in, oh crap, a half of a level, which seems pretty fast to me. attack. But maybe they play differently than I do. And again, also you can find items of different, varying condition too within the dungeon itself. So if you find a worn sword, it's already well on its way to being broken. Just looking for stuff to fight. Come on. Over here. There we go. Bat cheese and a mohawk guy. Drunk's iron short sword. -2 to attack. No thanks. And level down. Interesting. They certainly should be back. The pressure plate trap should only be in the dungeon area. I haven't defined them for the caves or for the sewers yet. They're only in these first 2 levels. So that might be something you're seeing. I want to. Ooh, nice. Okay, so that should break here shortly, and then I can switch to the other weapon.
What was that?
Oh crap. Oh man. Cheese and lightning. I got the zombie. I got both. Nice. Twofer. See if I can lure her. Oh, she got me. Oh no. Bad situation. Okay. Speed. Why not? Okay, so now the dagger is broken, the image is switched. So I actually used this one dagger for 2 levels, which is cool. Unfortunately, the inventory isn't updating till I actually open it, so I might dig into that. But now I have this glowing dagger of fire, which is cool. And yeah, it sets enemies on fire, which means it'll probably last a lot longer because I really only have to do 1 hit to do the majority of the damage. So there we go. Ah! Okay, I should have saw that coming. And I hit by it again. That's not a way to do things. I did not realize there was a tumblog to the mage. That's funny, I guess. There we go. Put that on. So it's a fine steel dagger too, so it should survive 16 times 3, so like 48 hits before it breaks. Which should be quite a few. I mean, I'm really gonna have to wail on stuff like break down doors and hit the walls and stuff for it to actually wear down, because it's still a fine dagger. Yeah, there's a pressure plate trap for you. Crap. Yep, they still exist. I promise you. What? Why not health? And set him on fire. So I can close the gap. And there we go. That worked out well. This is the beer hole. And no stare down, but an unidentified amulet of health. Don't necessarily want to roll the dice. Is it still a fine dagger? Yeah, it's still a fine steel dagger. This way. All right, actually, I'm just gonna start hitting the wall to break this, just to make sure I got the textures hooked up correctly, and to make sure that things are working. So now it's no longer fine; it's a normal dagger. Now it's worn. And now it's broken, and it is no longer enchanted. Cool. What's a Bow of the Arcane? Nice. So yeah, so it looks like that stuff is working decently well. Yeah, because hopefully you find broken stuff and you realize it's no good. Okay. So that seems to be an okay change for now. Let me just go ahead and commit it. So I'm committing changes to adding a new sprite sheet, adding a new, I guess, sprite sheet. This is a sprite sheet definition. This is the sprite sheet itself. Adding, actually, let me look into actually what the inventory does so I can correctly do that behavior. Because the inventory does something special when it opens up, and I want to emulate that. So let me dig around the code a little bit and see if I can figure out what's happening. Unless maybe there's some an entity drawable. Is there a maybe setting the is dirty will do it. This drawable dot is not, it has a refresh. I want to call that. So let's see if that does what I want it to do. Erase that, starting the game. Let's create our debug. Nope. The melee one, debug short sword of paralyze. It should break after 6 hits. Okay, it broke, and this is still not getting. So I need to figure out the path that the code is taking to redraw that. Blah, 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 blah. Do inventory action inventory buttons, inventory. Player I'm trying to figure out where the hotbar is drawn, because it looks like there's some method I need to invoke to refresh it. Um, graphics, draw hotbar. I'm gonna add a breakpoint here to see what's going on here. Let's just run it in debug mode and see what's going on. Because I don't think this might not get called every frame. This might be something we're doing only when we detect changes to the hotbar. So let's give that a shot. Okay, get a breakpoint. Continue. So it is getting called every frame. Okay, so that's not. Okay, so that's not what is causing the redraw. Let's look at the inventory action stuff and see if we can figure it out from there. I agree. We need to refine how potions are thrown. My current inclination now is just to use the Q to throw everything and have left click be like the default use or attack. Because it's kind of a hard thing to do. Because that kind of messes up how the left click interacts with things. So input action. So where does this actually get? Public do inventory action. Where does the inventory actually get pulled up? Okay, that's not what I want. I'll draw inventory. Control state. This might be a better request for Chad. I'll poke a little bit more at the code, and if I can't figure it out, I'll just continue on. Really for hotbar. No occurrences of hotbar? That seems odd. Sure, I'm curious what these window overlays are. I'm not entirely for certain. Personally, I don't think mazes are interesting, especially after you played it the first time. That's why we've kind of moved the final fight to more of a kind of an arena fight. Again, I'm always open to people's feedback. So there's a hotbar class. Oh, is that what's going on? Let me see if it's a hotbar refresh is what's getting called. Okay, so it looks like it's going through and it's actually doing what I want it to do. So how to invoke this. Because what has the hotbar? This is my question. Can I find all usages? The game has the hotbar. So can I do, let me stop this. Game dot hotbar dot refresh. Is that a public? It is a public static. Beautiful. Let's see if this works. Hopefully it does. And another reason the maze was unfun is it was exactly the same every time you played, which isn't terribly interesting either. Because I don't know, I'd rather folks when they're playing Delver have to rely on their knowledge of systems and improvisation rather than just simply rote memorization. To me, that's just not as interesting. So attack, attack. Okay, yeah, that's perfect. That's exactly what I needed to do. So when the weapon breaks, now it refreshes in the hotbar, so everything is doing what you expect it to do. So let me just go ahead and commit these changes. So weapons now change sprites on break. Also, let me see. Let me take a look at the range. The reach, yeah. So I guess I can just simply unbroken hotbar refresh, and then this dot reach equals this dot reach divided by 2. So having the reach seems appropriate, maybe. Not sure. Let's do times 0.5. And again, see how that feels. Maybe 3/4 is a little more accurate because, like, I guess it's more a thing with the swords um, than with the maces because they still say roughly the same length. Uh-oh. Looks like my stream quality has taken a nosedive. Can you folks still see me? Okay. Yes. Melee one. And then so after I break this, I shouldn't be able to, yeah, so my reach becomes way shorter, which might be okay. Maybe let's do a 3/4. That might be a little bit more forgiving. This only should ever get called once. Let me verify that too. This should only ever get called once on the change from worn to broken. Yeah, it looks like my stream quality is a little rocky right now. Hopefully it's not too terrible for folks. Yep, so let's undo that. breakpoint because I got that figured out. Okay, let's pitch that. Let's create another. Elo short sort of paralyze. Yes, that's what I want. Sorry, I had to think. Don't know why I had to think about it for a second, but. Okay, I don't care about that so much. I care about when it actually breaks. So I want to make sure that we only capture the on break once. Okay, so this dot reach, yep, so this dot reach is 0.5, so now it should be 3/4 of that, so 0.375, yep. Continue, and there we go. It looks like it's no longer being it looks like I'm going to be on for maybe another half hour. I try to keep my streams limited to just a couple hours because I don't want to bore folks to death. And you know, I have family stuff to go take care of, so maybe at 4 o'clock is when I'll call it quits. Yeah, I'm liking these changes so far. So far today we have when items break, they are no longer enchanted. So that sweet Sword of Paralyze, um, well, after you break it, it's no longer a Sword of Paralyze. It's just a broken sword. When items break, they're visually different now. So there's a broken texture for all the item, or for the melee items at least. And now the range is shortened. So hopefully, again, trying to make them feel different and give you a reason to switch. So let me go ahead and commit this change as well. I did save it, right? Yes. There we go. Broken weapons. Now have a shorter reach. Commit. I'll go ahead and publish this. I'll publish the branch too in case Chad wants to take a peek at things. Also, so if this computer dies, I don't lose my changes. It's nice to push them out to the remote server. Okay, so I think that's pretty cool. Let me. I guess I'll play a little bit. I'll talk about Delver. Because I think these are some of the big things I wanted to accomplish today on the stream, was to start to add a little bit of just do a little bit of work on the durability system to make it a little bit more transparent as to what's going on. Cool. I guess we smash everything, right? Just in hopes that we can get something better than this terrible dagger. For those of you who pay attention to stats, will notice this dagger only does 1 to 2 points of. Or this one does 2 to 3. Okay. Ooh, there we go. A worn iron mace. Just go ahead and use it, just so we can watch it degrade quickly and look at the terrible art that I made for it. Okay. Looks like mage cheese. Ooh, buckler. I can use that. There we go. Non-worn iron. So now my iron mace is broken. And I have to get decent amount closer to actually hurt folks. So let's just throw that there. It's broken. And maybe I need to, yeah, I need to definitely visit the graphics to let folks know that it really is broken. Cool. Hey, KO Drake, thank you for stopping by. Yeah. Okay, I think I can run over this probably. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Missile wand. That's fairly useful. Yeah, JCWMMM. I get asked about multiplayer all the time, and personally, I would love to see a multiplayer roguelike. I don't really know of very many that exist, if any at all, and especially a first-person procedurally generated multiplayer roguelike would be cool. I know there are a few games that do stuff like that, but because we've written the engine ourselves. A lot of the design decisions we've made over the past 4 years were not with multiplayer in mind, and rewriting the engine to support that would basically set us back like another couple of years, simply because we work on this in our free time. So I don't think for this project, but I would love to work on a project like that. Yeah, right now we're focused on making Delver the best single-player experience that we can. And a lot of these lessons that we do learn from Delver, I'm looking forward to applying to future projects. Cool. So this mace is still going strong. I'm sure it's worn by now. No, it's not worn. It's just a normal iron mace. So again, the durability is holding out. Just smashed out the door. But yeah, so to summarize, yeah, we've thought about multiplayer, but for this project, it's too expensive at this point in time. So I don't see he's doing a lot of damage. Oh, now it's broken. Okay, so it was worn, now it's broken, which is why it's crappy. Let's just blast him with my. So right now the durability doesn't have any effect on magic, which probably should be tweaked. Yikes. Okay, well I guess I'm going to use my broken thing to knock down doors because, well, there we go. Don't want to waste my magic on that. Okay, so I need a new melee weapon. I'm out of shots. So I guess I can stun her, and then maybe with knockback I can push her into the spikes. There we go. There we go. And then I get. Oh, is this one broken? So this one is broken. Interesting. So I guess because I'm only changing the image on the condition change, this won't actually ever look broken. So that's something I need to take into account when with some of my code changes, because they are potentially created broken, right? Nice. I'll use the buckler because bucklers tend to be a little bit faster. Let me see. So chat's talking about, let me see. So I agree. I want to make more interesting systems for folks to play around with, and some of these changes we are making is trying to get there. Um, we want to have cool like the fire system. Is an interesting way to I guess work with your enemies by setting them on fire. Again, the durability system true is trying to give people more interesting decisions to make. Yeah, magic is limited by shots.
Hello?
Yeah, no multiplayer will not happen for this project. Again, I would like to work on one someday, but yeah, this one is not.
Huh?
Okay. Let me see. Uh, Kodrak says, "Can you make the broken weapons as a hardcore gameplay feature?" I don't really want to have different modes. Again, that sounds like more work. um, they will probably be they will definitely be tweaked until it feels right. Because right now it's very early days, and I mean to be honest, it takes a while for stuff to break. This is a fire and iron dagger, which will take 48 hits for it to actually break. Um,
Huh?
and maybe in later levels, you're certainly doing more fighting. Um, and I also want to change durabilities for different items based upon their qualities. So like steel versus iron versus jeweled, that will be changing the durability values that way as well. Cinecron says, "Is the walking in place a bug?" What do you mean walking in place? Yeah, and Hawaii Beach says you can mod the game. Yeah, I guess. Uh, yeah, an excellent iron dagger. So let's switch that out. So yeah, in theory, you can certainly just go to every single item and just make the durability values insanely high. Um, if you're really against that, I mean, it wouldn't be a hard thing to do. Again, we're just trying to make the game more interesting without making it like longer, if that makes sense. Like we're trying to pack more decisions into the gameplay that's already there than just having um, lackluster gameplay that just lasts forever. Crap. Okay, come on, little worm. There we go. Okay. So I need to do something. Um, I need to do a check basically that um, uh, correct. Synchron. The enemies they have a very limited number of animations. They have like an attack, I'm being hit, and then an idle slash walk cycle. Um, Again, these are decisions that we made early on. Like they only have one facing. Um, they can't ever turn away from you. Um, Kodrick says, "Am I using Windows 10?" Yes, I'm using Windows 10 on this machine, and then the machine on the desk behind me is using the latest version of OS X, Mac OS Sierra, I think is what they call it these days. Um, because the game is both for PC, Mac, and Linux, we try to have a good variety of machines. So I just keep myself on the latest version of both Windows and Mac. Again, because we have no budget, like the amount of hardware and operating systems we can actually test on, isn't super great, but we do the best that we can. Cool. So I need to figure out a better way to do changing the graphic, because these can get generated with Uh, different durabilities or condition. Let me look up wherever broken is used. Interesting. So what if, is it item condition? Maybe that's the thing that we use when we generate random items. Um, Hawaii Beaches, hey, why don't you release beta versions on Steam? We do. There is a beta channel, and that version usually drops. Um, I don't know, maybe anywhere from a few days to a few weeks before the actual main version updates. So if you want to opt into the beta channel, you can certainly do that. Um, Nebulous Kid, I have to take this seriously, and please don't commit self-harm. Um, yeah. Yeah, no, if you, yeah, this is upsetting me because I take this stuff very seriously. Um, oh, Java, don't break my computer. Again, please don't hurt yourself. And yeah, I don't know you, so I mean, other than the fact that life is precious and that you know, we're only blessed with a very short amount of it. I would, not squander what little life we do already have. There are a number of organizations you can call or email or talk to about it. And again, I think folks struggle with depression more than we actually do talk about it. Um, I personally have struggled with it quite a bit myself. Um, Sometimes I feel like I'm spinning too many plates. So when I first moved up to Seattle, I was working um, for Microsoft, and I was freshly married, and working on Delver whenever I wasn't, at my day job or spending time with my wife. And then when my son came along, it's just I had so much going on, and I stopped taking care of myself, and it was hard. I mean, I'm fortunate that I have family and loved ones who've supported me, but I think um, we all have gone through dark spells in our lives, and I think we just need to keep pushing forward, and we need to surround ourselves with the people that make us better. Um, yeah. Thank you, Exical, for providing the number for the National Suicide Line. Um, and I used to work for Microsoft. I have since left. I'm now a stay-at-home father. Okay, so thank you, folks, for providing him with with resources, and um, let me think. I have about 5 minutes left on my stream. Um, yeah, so they're asking questions about my background. So yeah, so in 2013, I moved up to the Seattle area to work at Microsoft on a product called Blend, if you recall. Blend was a tool that allowed front-end designers to create UIs. Expression Blend still exists. I was working for HTML Blend. It was a way for basically creating CSS animations, which was really rad. I was into animations and front-end work. Unfortunately, over my course of 2.5 years there, within 6 months that product was cut, and I kept getting like the teams that were on never really found their footing. Um, so my experience there was the quality of life is greatly affected by the team you're on, and because my team didn't really know what product or what they were working on, things were always kind of in the wind, and sometimes we work on stuff I hated, and sometimes we would work on stuff I loved, but then we would switch again. So that like I couldn't that wore me down, and I tried really hard. Like it took a lot of effort to really like for me like I love working on Delver because I'm passionate about it, and like it is still work, but like I love doing the work. And when you're doing something that is difficult and you're passionate about it, it's not so bad. But when you're doing difficult work and you just have no interest in it, it's really hard, you know. Um, so a crazy hippie, I do not have a mod. I don't have anything really. Um, it's just me talking about my game, making my game. Um, cool. So I guess that's Code Drake messaging me, letting me know about the crash. Cool. Ba, 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 ba. Um, yeah, I mean, I agree. Like, it's hard because there are people who do need help and support. And I mean, even if I don't know you, like, I think life is a precious, beautiful thing. And like, again, the more I travel and the more people I meet, just even random strangers, like, people are pretty kind and generous if you just take the time to get to know them. Let me see. Crash points to what crash you talking about? Sorry. Oh, so Codrake. Let me see. So Codrake. Let me do just a little tiny bit of bug hunting, and then we'll call it a day. So it looks like he followed up to a thread. Blah, 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 blah. Cool. So yeah, this is a stack trace, which is useful. Um, Get item manager. Huh. That is really strange. What is get item manager in game doing? I think it was that line 745. Is that right? That returns instance to item manager. Oh, weird. Um, so basically, it looks like he has no instance of a game, which is strange. So what this is game is an object and it has a property of its own type called instance, and this is generally what's called a singleton pattern. Um, um, so a singleton basically ensures that when you create an object, only one ever exists, and um, you can grab it by using that instance, I think. Yeah. Hawaii Beach is saying that's wrong. Oh, yeah, no, that's the get item manager. That should be correct. Yeah, that's the method it's calling. Huh. Ba, 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 ba. I mean, to me, if you're getting you're getting a null exception, which means there's no game created, which is super strange. And what version of Java are you using? Um, okay. Ba, 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 ba. Yeah, Codrake. I'm not entirely for certain. I will go ahead and I will create a bug on our end, and I will see if I can replicate it using the latest version of Java on Windows 10. Um, Maybe running under Windows 8 support. I don't know. I'll play around some stuff, but I will make sure that we have. Let me just do it right now since we're talking about. Let's go to GitHub and Delver and issues and new, and this is game crashes with null reference exception in game dots get item manager, and then let me copy page URL. We put a link so we can get back to you. Um, Click on launch game. The game crashes immediately when player launches. Um, then grab the stack trace. Copy. I guess Control C, Control V don't work in the Steam app. Okay, so let me just put it over here so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm creating a new ticket. So we have a summary, game crashes immediately when player launches. We have call stack. This is, I'll assign it to Chad. Labels, bug, player reported. Let me also copy over the specs because that's helpful. Let's go here and just create a new little environment preview. Actually, that's so close to being a markdown bulleted list. Cool. Oh, missed one. Okay. Um, that should be good. Let's put it to January. Let's submit a new issue. So we'll get back to you. And also, it looks like I didn't close out my. So if we go to issues, milestones, November's done. So I'll just close that one out. I guess I didn't realize um, that they don't automatically close when you complete all the tasks on them. So let me take a look. Okay. Um, okay. So thanks for all that help. Yeah, no, I definitely like because you've given us money. Like I feel obligated to get you going, and um, I'll do everything that I can. I'll get Chad looped in, and we'll get this figured out. I'll get you playing one way or another. Um, let me see. Okay, so it is after 4 o'clock. I've been streaming for a few hours. I think it's about time to call this stream done. So let me think. This has been a bonus stream. I regularly stream on every Sunday at noon Pacific. I also stream whenever I have free time. So that's what this is. So if you follow me on Twitch, um, this is how you can find out when these things start. You can follow me on Twitter. I also post there. I also created a Facebook group or Facebook page for Delver. So if that's your thing, the thing is Delver Game Official is the link for that. I'll again copy and paste that. Um, what else? What else self promotional stuff I need to do? I'm bad at this. Sorry, folks. Um, I think that's enough. I feel gross promoting, but I got to. But yeah, so thank you everybody for supporting me by buying the game. Thank you everybody for supporting me by hanging out on my stream and providing great feedback and just asking great questions. Hopefully everybody has had a good holiday. Hopefully you have a few more days of holiday left before you have to go back to the day jobs or your school or whatever you have to do. Hopefully you have some time to enjoy what you want to do, and hopefully you get to be around the ones you love while you do that. So take care, everybody, and I will see you next Sunday.